Day 55. Min beneath the blossoms. After 2 days of being battered by wind, I thought it might be nice to do a quiet reading today. The moment Signa entered the river, she became a different creature. Elegant and efficient, she cut through the water, leaving a rippling trail in her wake. She dropped the others off and entered the river's midstream. "Greetings, Min. I'm happy to feel you, Signa," the river spoke in Silvish. "I'm aware you've been very busy. Tell me all." Min explained the Irrigate project and a reader's idea to create momentous waves to drench the fireballs out as they hit the canopies of the trees. "The irrigation is not difficult as long as the diggers burrow right up to my banks," Mirka burbled. "I'll need to withdraw my waters for a short time to avoid flooding the burrows and drowning them. Can you warn them to leave quickly?" "Signa, can you and Sir Pondi instruct your charges to leave this instance and swim or move downstream to take shelter in Nindalai? As for the waves, well, I like this. I like it very much. Let me talk to Palia. She'll need to rock my bed to begin with to gather momentum. With all the water creatures safely away, they'll come to no harm." "Are we certain my crashing waters will not affect anything in the forest beyond limiting the fire damage?" "You're bound to drench the undergrowth, Micah," Min answered, "but all the creatures and beings will have been taken to safety. In that case, you get on with your work, and Signa and I'll get on with ours. Good luck, and thank you. Stay safe. And Min," Micah paused longer than seemed necessary, as if she was possessed with some hidden knowledge, "signal me if you ever need help." Min was awestruck again. "I'm having a conversation with a river that has offered to help me." "Thank you, Micah. I hope not to bother you," she answered humbly. "You'll need transport, Min, if you're to cross the forest several times in the next couple of ecos. I've got the perfect answer for you," Signa said. "I'm not much of an intuitor, am I? That hadn't even crossed my mind," Min replied. "Too many other things to consider, my dear," Signa replied kindly, then stretched out her long, elegant neck and let forth an imperious hoot. Seemingly from nowhere, a tiny flapper appeared in a swirl of colour and settled on her head, its upright tail waggling. "You called, Signa?" "I did, Azalit. Meet Min. Min, meet Azalit. Azzy for short. He's a miniature cobalt waggler." As if to prove the point, Azzy's tail wagged so fast it all but disappeared in a blue-tinged haze. "Azzy, there's no other flapper who can navigate the forest as well or as fast as you. Would you be Min's transport for this vital mission?" Azzy jumped up and down several times, then dipped his beak. "I'd be delighted," he said, trilling with obvious pleasure. "Hop on, Min. This'll be fun." Not convinced that any of it would be much fun, his cheerful disposition uplifted Min. "Thanks, Azzy. I'm grateful. Goodbye, Signa." In a flash, Azzy took off with Min, almost instantly landing on the large grassy flat of Dintle Bend next to Fitlin and the team. "I don't envy you mapping all this out," Min said after introducing Azzy. "This is the fun part," Fitlin replied. "We've already made a start, worked out the length of burrows and volume of water we'll need to protect each tree," Arita added. "She's quite the mathematician," Fitlin said admiringly. "And you're quite the engineer." Arita grinned broadly, evidently enjoying herself and the team. "And you, my friend," Fitlin said to Luster, "have a mountain of knowledge about water and how it works. Go, Team 2. Azzy and I'll leave you to it then." "Wait, Min. What's that?" Fitlin pointed towards Micah. The water was boiling through the middle of the river. "The Silverlights are evacuating," Min answered sadly. "And look, the waders and water flappers are using the current they're creating to swim fast downstream," Luster added. Everything seemed to be converging, bringing the reality of the impending tragedy closer by the minute. "To the council, please, Azzy," Min asked. They took off, manoeuvring at extraordinary speed through the forest. Even as it flashed past, nothing she'd ever imagined was as exquisite as these woods. The colours and lights that sparkled across the trees and flowers were breathtaking. It was impossible to believe that in 2 ecos or less it might be destroyed. She felt more determined than ever to fight for it. Min spotted the glade at the base of Shinrae's trunk. Dendrilla, Rosette and Frass were waiting for her with Bipses and a crew of flappers and creatures, surrounded by a huge pile of different plants and flowers. All these plants have healing properties. Rosette was beaming as Min introduced Azzy to the rest of the team. Our plan, with Dendrilla's help and all these magical volunteers, Frass announced, spinning around and indicating the waiting crew, is to collect huge quantities of each and carrying them to the new forest. Frass is so animated without Matilda. He's intimidated by her, Flick said. I'd be too, Flutter replied. That's excellent news, Min said, resisting the urge to hug him, as she intuited that would not make him comfortable. And we've been studying the Mac Lion while we've been waiting. I think Dendrilla's cracked it. That's good, because we must return the amulet to you before the fires arrive. Frass smiled shyly at Min. I halves! Not sure about the quantities yet. Dendrilla opened her pale blue mouth and waggled her green forked tongue to indicate how pleased she was with herself. I wish I could spend more time with these enchanting creatures. The thought made Min feel deprived, as if she'd been given a gift, only to have it snatched away. It's more than likely you'll see all the team again, you know, if you apply yourself to the job at hand first, Flick reminded her. We've recruited all the swarms already in the valley. We think nearly 2 billion buzzles. That's a lot of pollen gathering. Bipses waggled his stripy body, evidently as pleased with this achievement as Dendrilla had been with hers. How astounding, Bipses. 2 billion. Whew, that is a lot of buzzles. Hard to get one's head around those sorts of numbers, Min responded and translated for the others. If there were that many buzzles, how many billions of other beings had to be evacuated? There wasn't a second to waste. And I'll see you beneath the trees tomorrow, hopefully with no wind.